Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Leon. Welcome back to a brand new video. It's been a while. I'm trying to get back into content creation again. I know I've been kind of in and out of this whole thing every time I go and do it, but this is a VOD from my live stream of when the season went live, the new season, Chapter 5, Season 2, and this is a tier list about Chapter 5, Season 1. So this is a VOD for my live stream from that day before the servers went live. So I just wanted to clarify, you can actually watch my streams at twitch.tv/neongg with 3 N's. I'll be streaming after this video goes live. So if you want to go and check out my stream, it's down in the description and it's on screen right now. I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Hopefully there's a little bit more content like this on the channel. I really want to push this stuff. And yeah, enjoy the video. Peace. Boys and girls, we are going to do a Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 1 recap tier list. So new items, new game modes, all that jazz with distinct. Okay, boys? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it with distinct. Okay. I wanted to do this because I saw a lot of people on console complaining how bad this season was when it really wasn't, and they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. So I'm gonna do it. Pause my music real quick so I don't get DMCA'd. Because it's gonna fucking happen.
Idea, buddy.
It's gonna fucking happen. But chat, I actually really liked this season. I thought it was fantastic. I'm not sure about the sync though.
I thought it was an extremely good season.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought the only problem that I had was with this season was Christmas break, but we'll get into that. Because it is a very big problem that we faced last season that was a big part of why people thought it was shit. We're gonna start with the right shield. I'm gonna give you the first opinion, distinct.
Yep, I'm listening.
You can say whatever you want about this weapon. What do you think?
Please vote.
I agree. And by the way, Chapter 5 Season 2 is out right now, and it is vaulted, so I agree. Reasoning is, I watched Duo Zero Build Cash Cups. This thing is the bane of everyone's existence. It was fucking horrible.
Not only that, but I've seen a lot of pros trying to combat it in FNCS.
Really?
Yeah, EU. There was a lot of people trying to use it in FNCS.
I didn't even see that. But all I know is this was so bad for zero builds that it fundamentally everyone had one in endgame. Everyone had one. You didn't even need builds like the porta bunkers or anything. You just have this and you pretty much get to endgame, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm gonna put it in vault, because and even in builds, it was just annoying as fuck to play against a person with this.
Too common. People would actually use it.
Yeah, and they would just be like completely cringe and just like try and do weird shit, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Grapple blade.
Wasn't hard to combat.
Yeah.
But it was just a nuisance.
Because the only way you could combat this is if you had clingers or a frenzy auto shotgun, because you can like the pellets would be spread so you could hit their feet and arms and shit.
Or a sniper.
Or a sniper. Yeah. That's the only way you could kind of like deal with it, I suppose. Alright. Next on our list, grapple blade. I'm gonna automatically say this already. Best movement item we've had in the game. Period.
I would agree, but I'm tossing up, and that sounds really strange, but I'm actually tossing up between S and A.
S and A?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that the reason why you're putting it gonna put it in A, or you're tossing up between the two, is because of how clunky it was at some points.
How clunky it was, but also another thing that takes away from it is how much they changed the spawn rate on it.
Yeah.
When you've got to factor in no cars and comp, obviously.
Yeah.
Although the Flowberry Fizz, which we'll get to later again.
Yeah.
Mid-season was a great addition, so that helped.
Yeah.
And there was other movement. But that was significantly the most prioritized item for movement, and then out of nowhere it's just pretty much gone.
Yeah. See,
That's the only reason I put it at A.
Yeah. I put it at an S, even with all its flaws, generally because it was an infinite use. The kind of movement with it was great. It was better than the hammer that we've had in the past, even though the hammer was great and the rocket ram was great. But this generally felt like they had tested this sort of mechanic out with the 3D movement gear from Attack on Titan collab, and they kind of put it into its own thing and its own identity. And it really, like, if you didn't have one of these, or if you didn't have, like, as this thing said, if you didn't have a Flowberry Fizz or anything like that, you were pretty much screwed, right? So, like, this thing was fantastic. And if you didn't get one, you were kind of like, you either had to have Flowberries, Flowberry Fizz, Crash Pads, or Shockwaves weren't even in comp. So you had 3 options. And yeah, I honestly think they should have kind of increased the spawn rate, because you kind of needed it to play the game properly. But we'll get into the other side of that next. But I personally think it would go into S or A too. But
I think it deserves S over A more.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, Crash Pad Juniors. Okay, this is, like, a lot of people are gonna fucking flame me for this, but this is my hot take. This is going in A. This is going in A.
I think that's fair.
The only problem with this item was the fucking bugs with it. I hated sliding on this thing and it not launching me and me dying because of it. That was the only thing that made this thing shit. Like,
or you just run into it and nothing happens.
And nothing happens. Yeah, that's the only reason I put this in A. I think it's very valid to put it in A. You agree?
Yep. Yeah. I agree with that.
Okay.
And like I say, you run into it. You use your Flowberry for the effect, right, to launch yourself.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Yeah. It was so bad, because I think me and you played majority together this season, majority of the time, and it was like, basically, like, we would use it and we just stopped using it because of that reason, was because we walked into it and nothing happened.
100%. And while it had its flaws, it was still one of the best items in the game.
Yeah. I think this item in pubs was great if you didn't have a grappler, but since it wasn't in comp, I can't really give it a fair rating, so I'm gonna put this in B.
I feel like a D or a F.
Really?
Only because it wasn't in comp, which is a significant part of the game, right?
Yep.
And in pubs, you've got cars as well, so...
Yeah, I guess so. I could see that. That's fair. I'll put it in DNF then as well. I think that's really fair. I rate that. And especially with the buffs for the Flowberry Fizz and the Flowberries in general, with Shockwaves, that shit was tight as fuck. That could have been in comp for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we'll both agree that this thing can get put in Please Vault.
Yep, get past the grenades out of here, please.
Dude, me and Distinct, you do not know how many times we have fucking thrown these. If we had the chance to throw these out of the map, we would. We would
100%.
We would chuck them off the map. These things were so annoying. Even if you threw these at a wall or a box that was in front of you, some nades would just get through and you'd get put on like 40 HP from like 150.
I don't like them.
I hated them. I at the first I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool, but I wish it was kind of like you'd place it and it would explode instead of like I place it and then it shoots out from where I placed it on. Like, I think that was kind of weird, but yeah, I think these were just not worth the time of day to keep in the game this season. So they are not. So good job, Epic. Next, Striker AR. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give it to you because you used the Striker more than I did this season, and I think you have a fair opinion on this than I do.
Look, I think it's a great weapon. But base weapon, take away the attachments, which I believe came this season, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Take away the attachments, that gun pretty much irrelevant.
Yeah. Agreed.
As like an iron sight gun.
Yep.
But with the attachments and I believe they done a few like silent nerfs on it too.
Yeah.
The gun was still overall pretty good, and it was probably the leading gun because you also had the mythic version of it, right? Which is the most overpowered AR in the game.
That AR was fucking. It was nuts.
It was next level.
Like.
So
No, you go.
I'd probably put it in A.
Okay. Because.
And the mythic in S, but
yeah.
as a whole, mythic below A.
Yeah. I think, like. In FNCS, we watched Volks and other teams beam with this fucking thing. It was disgusting. Like, I remember a key memory that I have of this FNCS was Volks was on high ground. For anyone that doesn't know who I'm talking about, OC region, one of the best pros in the region. He was on high ground with this thing, and he had a sniper, and he was missing all of his shots with the sniper, and he was hitting like straight cracks with this thing, with the mythic. On high ground. Like, it is disgusting. It was disgustingly good. Like, all the other versions of this, grey, green, blue. Blue was okay because you at least had some attachments on it. Green and grey, completely worthless picking up. There was no point in picking that shit up. You might as well just went for the Nemesis, but that's beside the point. But
100%, and that's why I think. Yeah, you go.
I honestly think A as well. I think A is fair.
And like you say, regarding the grey and the green, that's why a lot of people turn to the Thunder Burst.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. A's solid. A's solid. Nemesis. Now, I can say, because I used this gun majority of the whole season, we landed Grand Glacier for pretty much all of our, like, basically our comp ranked run to Unreal. This gun, from Grey to Mythic, like, just really good. Like, it wasn't insanely crazy, it wasn't insanely bad, but if I got this shit off spawn, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad picking up a grey one, a legendary one, a purple one. I wouldn't be mad if I went out of my way to go and pick this as a Mythic. It was really good.
Was that the Nemesis?
It was the Nemesis, yeah.
Where are you putting it, sorry?
I would either put it in SAA, but I feel like I would put it if I were to put it in A, I'd put it above the Striker, because I think in FNCS even I picked up the grey one majority of the time over a Striker because I generally felt better and it felt better to use.
Yeah, I can understand that. I guess it was quite similar to the old heavy that we had, wasn't it?
Yeah, like the AK. Yeah, it was sort of like that, but it just felt great.
A bit faster fire rate.
Yeah. And even the mythic one, it had a drum mag. It had a fucking like 2-second reload. You had like 40 bullets in that thing, and it was a 2-second reload. Like, it was great.
Yeah. I can't really have an opinion on this because I didn't use it enough. I either used a Thunderburst or a Striker or a pistol.
Yeah. But I generally use this majority of the whole season when we were grinding for ranked in Unreal to Unreal. This gun was solid from grey to mythic. Like, there was no problems with it. They buffed it twice, and even then, the buffs needed the buffs at the start of the season. Absolutely. That gun, it was so bad at the start of the season. The damage was shit. The reload was bad. They buffed it twice. It was in a way better state than it was. I think it deserves A tier, and I think I'm going to put it in front of the Striker.
Yeah, of that, I don't, like I say, I don't have too much of an opinion because I didn't use it enough to know.
Yeah. Alright. Enforce AR. I'm going to give you the floor with this one. What do you think?
Good weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Good weapon. Damage-wise, fire rate, not so great.
Mm-hmm.
Drop-off, yeah, probably the best out of all ARs, I'm going to be honest, the drop-off.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just feel like it needed a little bit better fire rate.
Yeah.
The damage was on par with like the infantry.
Yep.
But it definitely, whereas the Striker and the Nemesis you could use without attachments, but that definitely needed attachments.
Absolutely.
Like, there was no way you could use the Enforcer with that. any attachments. I mean, at the bare minimum, I kind of had to have a scope, otherwise you just weren't hitting anything.
Yep, I agree. I think.
So I'd probably go as low as C, to be honest.
Fair.
If we're talking on like a base level.
Yeah. I think this gun, the only thing that had it going for it was that the bullet drop-off made it feel like a hit scan weapon from like chapter 4 or like any other past chapter. Like, it was dead fucking accurate. It was disgusting, right? That's the only thing that's going for it. Like, the fire rate was meh, the damage was meh. You know, it needed attachments. The other two don't. You can pretty much use these from grey to, well, not so much the striker, but the nemesis grey to mythic. You could use it. This thing you couldn't use it as grey, green, or blue. Like, you needed like a blue weapon to have this gun like feel great. You know. So I'll put this in.
I'm saying B or C.
I'm thinking high C. I think they tried something, it didn't really work, it's fine. Ranger pistol. I would take this over an Enforcer AR. But I didn't use it much. Well. I didn't use it much, so I could probably say I'd probably just put this in B. I don't really have an opinion on a pistol. It's a pistol. Like, it is what it is. Like, I would use the pistol over the Enforcer, mainly because it feels better to use. Fully
automatic.
Yep.
More often than not, you'd
decent
find
range.
A better upgraded version of it.
Yep. You can mod it. It's crazy when it's modded, stuff like that. Yep. Okay, now we're getting into the spicy stuff. Okay, the spicy stuff. Lock-on pistol.
Gosh. This is a very controversial one.
This is gonna be a hot fucking take. This shit was fucking busted. I don't care what anyone says. I use it, me and you especially, we used this towards the end of FNCS and in the last couple cash cups of the season. This thing was disgusting.
Absolutely ridiculous.
The fact that it kept it didn't get rid of the bloom from the chapter that it was in, and didn't get the new shooting system, it just made it even worse. Like, you could just hit if you were decent at aiming, you could hit like 20s constantly with this thing.
Oh, 100%. And you couldn't stop it. Like, it just literally locked onto you.
It went through builds at some point. Like, there was a bug that made it go through builds. Like, it was foul. Like,
yeah, it locked on through bushes as well.
Yeah. Dude, this gun was like, this essentially what this is if they had like chapter 4 and they just imported the old pump or the old double pump into chapter 4. Really, that's basically what this gun was in the last season. It was disgusting. So I think S tier, period. There's no discussion about this. Hot take. You can discuss that in the comments if you want. It's whatever. Is what it is. Okay. Reaper sniper rifle. Distinct. I don't know about you. This is another S tier.
It is, but I only need to say 3 words.
Yeah.
Busted as fuck.
Yes. But to be real though, this is the first ever sniper that they've made it feel satisfying since chapter 1. Like, hitting heads with this thing is so crisp.
Yeah, I feel like when you say that, I feel like the heavy was like initially crisp to hit a hit, but then the feeling of that kind of just like grew over.
It went away in chapter 3. Like, it didn't feel the same because it didn't have that headshot sound effect. It didn't have like the tink. This thing does. You hit a headshot with this thing, it feels like you're punching a hole in the universe when you shoot this thing.
Not even hitting a headshot, just like hitting someone in general. Like, actually,
like 110s
was probably the easiest thing to do.
Absolutely. This thing was a monster this season.
It was, but it felt like it had no drop off.
Yep.
It was a reckon to be forceful. And that's why we saw an FNCS people were carrying it in.
Yeah, just look at Clicks and his fucking sniping montage in FNCS, bro. That shit was like 2 minutes long.
My next thing.
Yeah.
Flex either like ran the Oscar's frenzy and a sniper, and would just take walls with the sniper.
Yep. But yeah, I think this was the most broken weapon in the season. I'm gonna put this here.
I agree.
I'm gonna put the locked on pistol after it, and then I'm gonna put the grapple last. I think the grapple is like the balanced S tier, I think, in this list. Hammer pump. I think this is I think if we're going based off S as in broken, right? I think this shotgun is the closest thing we've ever gotten to a better pump.
100%.
This gun just feels fantastic. I don't have any problems with it at all. I think it's all great. Damage is decent. Reload's decent.
Literally can't say anything bad about it. It never really hit that inconsistent.
I've had it hit for 35s or like 20s, but it's not the fact it did it all the time. Like with other, like for the pressure pump, you would always hit above 100. The hammer shotgun in chapter 3 or the jungle season hit like a fucking freight train. But the other ones where we had like the light one, I forgot what it's called. Like it looked like a fucking weird shotgun, but the first shot of the shotgun did like massive damage. That shotgun was shit. Like there was a bunch of them that are awful. This one's the closest thing we've actually gotten to a pump version 2, and I love it. I don't have anything bad to say about it.
I agree. Right, so what do you want
and also Peter Griffin, top, like the most broken fucking mythic in the game. I can't lie.
I would almost arguably say more dominant than the gold pump that used to 200 pump.
Absolutely. Yep, I agree with that.
Because 200 pump will obviously kill you instantly.
Yeah.
But the Peter Griffin, you basically one shot, and then 9 times out of 10, they're instantly gonna follow up, so you don't even get time to heal.
Yep.
Branny!
What the fuck?
Mute your mic or something, you weirdo.
Okay. Next one. Frenzy shotgun. I think me and you probably have the same opinion on this gun. I think it goes in C tier.
Yep.
Reload on both, mainly the drum mag, especially on the Oscar's mythic one, but on any of the shotgun, even on the regular mag, it's just so fucking slow. It's so bad.
So slow, but there's a lot of inconsistencies with it.
Yeah, I honestly think I'll bump it up to B tier because of the damage and how cheesy people played with it. But the reload, I can't put it in S tier just because of the reload. It's so bad.
No way.
It's so bad. The reload was awful. It took you like fucking 2 years to reload the thing. It was so bad.
But like, more as you watch people use it, you realize that you actually had to hit your first shot decently. Otherwise, you were relying on the other person to either miss, not hit you hard enough, or you would do a damage second shot, because your first shot was normally one of the hardest that you hit. But if you didn't hit the hardest, well then it's a 50-50.
Yeah. And also, I would like to preface this. Who the fuck thought it was a good idea to put a red dot sight on a fucking shotgun? It's a shotgun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I also think that was just kind of ridiculous. But anyway, that's beside the point. It didn't improve it at all. But next up is what was this called? This was called the Hyper SMG. I think it was I think it's top of B tier for me. It's not great, but it's not good either. It's kind of in the middle. It's kind of meh, right?
See, I'm thinking C maybe.
I think the purple
not utilized enough.
Yes,
because it was just
it was outshone by the rapid fire. Let's be real. Like
the Thunderburst was always going to tower over it, but it just it's not like its damage wasn't great. It's almost like its fire rate just didn't help its cause.
Yeah,
like you could have all the attachments on it and it was good, but
I think the mythic just like was just useless compared to everything else, every other weapon.
So overshadowed. Like there was other guns that could have been used. Like the pistol, even I could argue was a little bit better almost than the high price MG.
I agree with that. I think, and the range on it was fucking horrible too. You couldn't fucking control it from. Yeah. So I'm gonna put it at top of C. I agree with you there. I agree with you. Thunderburst SMG. This thing was a monster. The whole season. Like if you wasn't using either of these ARs, you were using the Thunderburst. So I honestly think S, but it's on the balanced side of S, like the grapple. I think for me. It's just mythic wise, it could have been a really good mythic over the hyper SMG, to be fucking completely honest.
100%. The mythic, if there was a mythic of that would have been the most broken gun in the game.
Yeah. Sliding into the box with this thing was absolutely menace. Like you would be a menace doing it. A lot of great burst damage. Honestly, this is probably one of the best burst weapons they've ever made. Period. It's better than the AUG. Honestly, it's probably on par with the AUG. It's better than the first burst SMG that they had in the game. Yeah, I think it's better from us. I don't think it's better than the AUG though. I think they're pretty much on par. I would put this in the bottom of S tier with the grapple.
Yeah, I agree though.
Medallions. Medallions.
Well, from what I've seen.
Yep.
I will say that these are probably better than what the seasons are going to be.
Yep, I agree.
Based on one thing, being that one of them is literally a siphon medallion.
Yep. At least these, they're fair, and if you get one, if you land at a drop spot that gives one, you're the same as everybody else in the game. There's no difference between any of you.
Nope. Other than obviously Peter Griffin.
Yeah, obviously, because of, like the weapons that you have. But if you had, like, for example, if all the medallions just had a medallion and no weapon, you're the same as everybody else in the lobby. There's no 100%. Distinction between anybody else. That's why it's good. That's why the medallions were good in the first place. At launch, a little bit broken. We can all say that. I think the community can agree. The shit was a little bit busted. 100
but that was
shield.
Before they realized. Yeah, that was before they realized that the way that you were getting shield. Yeah, it was way too quick.
Way too quick. Yeah, but I think honestly, top of A tier. These things should be just be in the game. Period. Like they're fantastic. They're a great idea. I think they're fantastic.
Yeah, I think they were great as well.
Yeah, top of A tier for me. I think we're solid on that. Flowberries. What do we think of Flowberries, Distinct?
I'm thinking high A tier, to be honest.
High A tier?
Yeah.
Good shield, good you know, consumable. Can stack 6, pretty much a mini.
All round good item.
Yeah.
Rotation as well, so there's a lot of versatility with it.
Yep. I think top of A tier as well. I don't think I can put him over the medallions though.
I don't think I can put them over the shotgun. Maybe in between either shotguns and crash pads, or crash pad and nemesis.
Yeah, I agree. I think the crash pads will wait. Honestly, if you combine the crash pad and the flowberry, this thing here was astronomically great. But by itself, it can't do better than. I honestly think at bottom of A is pretty decent. It's
yeah, I would agree.
Flowberry Fizz, however, this item qualified me for my first ever victory, solo victory cash cup. This item. It made me qualify for a victory cash cup for the finals.
I think that just goes S tier, honestly.
Such a good item. Such a great item. It's so good. Like 100 shield gives your teammates, or depending on what, if you're in a game mode, teammates mobility, works well with crash pads and shockwaves. Even with the grapple, it still works great somewhat. Movement's fantastic. You have 100 uses of it, full, like 5 I think it's 5 shield per tick. Like, it's great.
Yeah, that's not.
Fantastic.
And you're not limited to or restricted to use it all at once.
Yeah, I agree. Medkits. By the way, for people that don't play Fortnite, they changed the way medkits, basically all the heals work, except for the consumables like apples and stuff like that. You can use medkits, bigs, and minis while walking now, and jumping as well. So, heal off this season was buffed because you could walk in a storm with the medkits, and you didn't need to stand still.
Buffed astronomically.
So I think this goes in. I think it belongs on the top of S tier. I think this shit should just be like.
It has to.
I think the shields, the bigs and the minis, great, right? The shields and the minis, they're fantastic. There's nothing wrong with those. I think they're like A tier, right? Medkit, top of S tier, just because it's whites and you can survive the storm with it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in the top of S tier, and then I think shields would probably go above the hammer, right? I think the bigs are better than the minis, to be fair. I'd rather hold bigs than minis.
I don't know about that actually.
You'd rather hold minis?
Only because, I don't know if you know this, and if chat knows this,
Yeah.
but when you put out a big, and say you got shot or someone's pushing a wall, you put it away, it uses the big, right? But it didn't for the mini. It just stopped popping it, so you didn't waste it.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
in that case, I'll put the mini above. I think that's fair. That's way better than the big.
Didn't pop the mini.
Yep. Okay, now we're gonna do 2 more items, and then we're gonna get into the nitty gritty stuff like modes and stuff. So mods, that is, we're gonna do we're gonna do A tier as well. I think mods were a very good addition. I think putting it above the Nemesis.
Above the Nemesis?
Yeah.
I'm in an hour-long queue now. What the fuck?
What the fuck? Okay, that's ridiculous.
Oh my god, bro.
Okay, well that new season, people. Top tier. We've been waiting 14 hours for this shit. Actually, no, 17 plus hours for the new season, and it's just launched, and this thing's in an hour queue. Poggers. Anyway, yeah, what do you think? In the middle of A tier, like above the Nemesis, you reckon?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Because I feel like it was a very great addition to the game. I think it gives a lot of versatility in what weapon you want to build and stuff like that. So, and they've added more. I don't know what type of other attachments they've added this season, but mods were really, really great for weapons this season. It definitely changed up how what playstyle you want. That's for sure. SUVs, the only thing that was able to counter sniper, in my opinion.
But again, I'd probably put DNF because it wasn't in comp, so it didn't have a huge...
I will put this in DNF as well. I think top of DNF is probably... I wouldn't say Vault because they actually had a purpose.
They had a purpose.
Yeah. Theme of the season, Battle Pass, items, stuff like that. You know the drill.
Like collabs and stuff.
Collabs, Battle Pass, Peter Griffin, all that jazz. I think this theme of this season was really cool. Just went for too long. Went for a little bit longer than expected because of the break and Christmas and all that. I generally don't like seasons that go over 100 days. I think that's fucking stupid. However, the theme of this season and the overall aesthetic, I dig it. I think it's great, like that French type of European vibe, I would say. And we'll get into the other modes a little bit later. Yeah, I think this is top of 8. Yeah, I think the Battle Pass is probably one of the coolest seasons we've had in a long time. What do you think, Distinct? You think the same?
I agree.
Okay.
Top of A.
Top of A. Okay. Solid Snake. I think this is a DNF. I didn't really like it that much because I didn't really play Metal Gear Solid, but I thought it was really cool that they brought back old items. So I think DNF.
Yeah.
Yep. Fortnite Festival.
Well, we all know that's Distinct's favourite game mode.
We all know that's Distinct's favorite game mode. Out of the rest of the fucking modes that they've made this at the start of this chapter, I think Fortnite Festival goes in C tier. Out of all the modes, this is probably actually. I might put it in B tier because I think Rocket Racing is below it in the same tier. I think they both belong in B tier, so I'll do Fortnite Festival, and then I'll do Rocket Racing, like that.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. For Lego Fortnite, this is S tier. This is great. Needs more updates, needs more ways to progress in the game. We can all agree with that. Yeah. Sweet.
No complaints. No complaints.
The mini hand vent, I thought this was dope. I think it was A tier.
I thought it was pretty good as well, actually.
It wasn't too big, like a big event like we usually get, but it was a mini event, and I think it was pretty tight. So I think maybe below medallions. Yeah, exactly. I think it was interactive as well. Fortnite Festival, don't do this again. I mean, not Fortnite Festival, fucking Winterfest.
Winterfest.
Do not.
They've already said they're not doing it again, haven't they? No,
I mean like the way it was done is what I meant. The way it was done, do not do it again. I swear to God, if we do not get a good Winterfest next to Christmas, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to riot. The way
because they took away the lodge, didn't they?
Took away the lodge. Took away I think they took away the campfire as well. You can get XP for it for AFK or like just progressively. You can open presents. It was all through you could open presents, but it was through a fucking quest menu, right? Don't do this again.
There was only one good thing that came out of it, right? Was the change to the loot island that spawned.
Yeah.
And also the thing at the back of the map behind Lavish.
Yeah, like the little Christmas like island or
Sergeant Winter's thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the skins were great. Items were okay. Event itself, dog shit. Don't do it again. Make a cabin next time. Make us feel interactive on Christmas, right? It's an important time of the year. Seriously. TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the skins, the mythics, hoverboards back. Pizza Party was back. This was a great collab. I think it was better than Attack on. Aesthetically, it was better than Attack on Titan.
The mythics, it was good.
Yeah, the mythics were just like a cheaper version of a grapple.
And were so ineffective, and you had to buy them with gold unless you opened one of the supply
drops. Yeah, I think this was easily top of B tier, or maybe bottom of A tier actually, because I like the skins, and I think adding hoverboards back is pretty cool.
What's that top of B?
Top of B for you? All right, I'm down.
Yeah.
And then the map. The last one is the map this season was, and I think I've said this to you at the start of the season, and I've said it the whole time, and I think this is my pure thing on this. Map layout and map design and map overall, fantastic. Best map we've had in a long time. Better than Chapter 4. Plus, better than half of Chapter 3 as well, I think.
Chapter 4 was cluttered because it had all like the tree vines and stuff. So
yeah.
All enough, man.
I think F's tier for me for the map. I think this is probably one of the best maps.
And also the addition of trains as well. So
actually, I didn't put that in there, but the train is a part of the map. But I think train is tight as well. But yeah, I think this map made it more interactive. It made it more laid out. The theme of the whole island was European themed. This season it's more Greek, and it was already shown in the map already, and we kind of get to like feel that, and in Chapter 1, Season 1, sorry, and we get to feel that in Season 2 still. I think that's a great, because in Chapter 2 we had the same thing where we felt the theme throughout every season, every part of the map, right? And then it lost that charm in Chapter 3 and 4, and it kind of didn't return since until this season. And I think it's bottom of S tier for me. I think it's one of our best maps we've ever had.
I would say so as well.
All right, well, that's our fucking tier list for this Chapter 5 Season 1. It's kind of crazy.
I would say. I don't think there's much I could disagree with there.
Yeah, no, I think they honestly best season we've had in a long time. Only downside I think we've said was well, I was supposed to say was way too long. I think Winterfest was awful.
Far too long.
We didn't have updates. We got 2 major updates all patch, like all season. It was horrible. Like we need more content, more updates.
I think a season that goes this far over Christmas ruins it anyway.
Ruins it. Yeah, I agree. I concur. All right, boys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Chat. We're all done here. If you guys agree or disagree with our takes or our hot takes, comment below. Distinct's channel will also be in the description if you want to check out his channel. This is a 41-minute long video. I cannot believe it's gone for this long, but we'll cut it down. It's all right. It's fine. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.